Recording in progress.
Yeah. Good morning, all of you. మ్యూట్ అవ్వలేదు అది. ఓకే. యా గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ ఎవ్రీవన్. ఏంటది మ్యూట్ అవ్వట్లేదు మార్నింగ్ మరీ మంచిగా ఉంది. నౌ ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఓకే? హలో హలో. Yeah, good morning, all of you. You are all welcome to this two-day national conference on technology. We have named it as Digital Dynamics. The first session will be dealt by CA U.Saran Kumar, and the topic will be using AI in MS Office and OneDrive. It will be a very interesting session. Now, may I request Saran to please come on to the desk. Request Saran, CA Saran to please come on to the desk. I request the past chairman of Vijayawada branch, CA G. Srinivasarao, to welcome CA Saran with a memento, or with a book bouquet, rather. Right. So, friends, before Saran take up his session, let me say a few words about him. He's qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 2010 and has completed his DISA at ICA, and also he is a certificate holder of forensic accounting and fraud detection, as well as a course on concurrent audit in banks. He has worked with the top corporates, including Microsoft and Credit Suisse Bank, for more than 3 years. Presently, he is rendering management consultancy services in the fields of automation, data analytics, dashboards, process audits, process documentation, etc., for many listed as well as unlisted companies. His specialization includes statutory audits, internal audits, forensic audits, transaction audits under IBC, data analytics, process audits, etc. He is having more than 13 years of experience in handling data analytic tools like MS Excel, Power Query, Power BI, IDEA, ETL tools, etc. He has been the regular faculty for FAFD certification course and dashboard course conducted by ICI. He has been the guest speaker for the seminars being conducted by ICI and other institutions like CMAI, NASN, etc. on the topics of data analytics in audit, including bank audit, usage of tools in audit, including Christ University, Pune, PA Institute of Management. He is the visiting faculty to those universities, and he is also elected to the managing committee of ICA Hyderabad SIRC. Now he is currently the secretary for Hyderabad branch, and also He holds a series of sessions on Thursday for technology in YouTube, which are very popular among CA and other fraternity, finance fraternity. So, friends, Saren is a very nice person. He is serving our fraternity in a very good way. He is also a sought after speaker of ICA head office. He addresses the conferences of students as well as members. And recently, last month or before last month, he was a speaker at the student seminar conducted by ICA head office. And you should believe the Zoom attendance on that day was more than 10,000. You should believe this. I am telling it is a fact. And also, whenever Vijayawada branch asks Saran to please take up a session at Vijayawada branch, in spite of his busy schedule, in fact, day after tomorrow, tomorrow Hyderabad branch is conducting National Student Seminar. But still, today, on our request, he is here for us to enlighten us about the AI tools in Office as well as OneDrive. Without wasting much of the time, I hand out the session to Saran.
A very good morning, all the members. I thank Vijayawada branch for this great opportunity. I thank GSR sir, in fact, who followed up many a times and make sure that the session should happen on this topic. And I thank, in fact, always I thank my Guru Ravi Kishore sir. I still remembering the Vijayawada. Whenever Vijayawada is there, the CA days for most of you and along with most of people who are even practicing at Hyderabad, we remember the days. In fact, I was today morning driving along with my wife. My wife is telling, I think around 2007, this building, 2007, 8, 9. I think or second batch of ITT she attended here. So that is what the bonding always we have. We always consider, though I'm the secretary of Hyderabad branch is my home branch. So is also one of my home branch. I always feel so whenever we get a request, then it is my time or anything. I feel it's a privilege for me to come back to the place where I studied, where I became a chartered accountant and serve the members without taking much of the time because after my session, I know that inaugural is there. Let me go ahead with my session. In fact, the theme of BAB uh, conferences everywhere is everyone, the participant who should understand the technology, how it is affecting our day-to-day work, than feeling like it is a threat, how we can convert that as an opportunity. We at the Hyderabad branch also conducted before last month, if I'm not wrong, July 7th and 8th, GAP conference, almost 800 participants attended on different topics, pure about the technology. Okay, so whenever I have seen that Hyderabad Vijayawada branch is also conducting such type of conference, so I should strongly feel members should get benefit out of this. So my topic for today is usage of artificial intelligence in MS Office and OneDrive. So when it comes to the artificial intelligence, especially from last November 30th, 2022, till today, there is a lot of buzz around the word called artificial intelligence because of one product which made everyone to look at that is ChatGPT. In fact, if you look into the birth of artificial intelligence, it is there since long. Whether you observe or not, you are having an idea functionality in your Microsoft Excel on the home tab, the last button. That is a small type of artificial intelligence. That is also having a natural language processing, meaning you can write a question on your data. Could you please make a small pivot table? It's going to create a pivot table that they introduced almost 5, 6 years back. And if I go back to 10 years, I don't know how many of you know that there is a small functionality in the Microsoft Excel called flash fill. Flash fill is a functionality, especially in the bank audits, I also demonstrated at many seminars. For example, if you have, let's say you have taken the tally data. In the description of the tally, narration of the tally, there is a check number. I don't think so. The accountant keep the check number exact position. Some of the times he put being check number so and so. Some of the times he put entire narration. At the end, he put the check number. Some of the cases he started with the check number and so on. If that is the case, if I want to do the analysis, I have to extract that check number so that I can have a VLOOKUP function with my bank statement. Extracting that check number using Microsoft Excel is very difficult. You have to write almost like 1 kilometer formula. Thanks to the flash fill functionality, where you can just give your first answer, you can start giving your second answer. When it understood the pattern that you are trying to take 6-digit number from the previous column, it automatically fill the remaining values. I'm talking about 10 years back functionality. Even today, one of the very powerful functionality of Microsoft Excel, flash fill. If you have little knowledge about the BI tools, one of the very popular BI tool is Power BI. That's from the Microsoft product. You have a Q&A functionality. Almost 10 years back they introduced. Meaning, you need not to do anything. You need not to be a very good analyst. But you need to understand what is the requirement you are looking for. So always understand in next half an hour the words which I'm using. The Q&A option is there. You need to type your question. Based on that, it goes into the data. Let's say, for example, if you are asking, you have a country-wise sales data. There are 10,000 transactions for 7 countries. If you ask a question, summary of country-wise sales data, you just enter, it's going to give you the summary from your sales data. Otherwise, to get that, I have to go to insert, pivot table, take the country into the row label, the sales into the value label, and so on. If you immediately ask, you please prepare a trend chart from this using the date in the x-axis, it is automatically creates for you. This is not today's functionality. This is there 10 years back in the Power BI. So the birth of AI is long back, but became popular. The chat GPT came into the picture. Why chat GPT became popular? For example, if I want to search in the Google, I have to search almost 30 to 40 links, identify what is relevant for me, for which we are spending more time. In fact, the Google principle itself, the preamble of the Google itself, it's not going to give you the answer. It's going to show you the answers in the entire world. That is, user should have a responsibility to know what answer you want. Google will never ask you, take this answer. However, though on the top, you will get 3-4 links to come as a ads. With mention on the top, ads are sponsored links. Google will never make people to look into a particular item. Google display out of thousands of items, that is the user's visibility and responsibility to go into each and every item, choose what is relevant. Then ChatGPT came. You ask a question, I will give you the answer. We all surprised. We thought there is some super brain at the back end, so it is giving the answers. It is not having any super brain at all. It is when they started implementing the chat GPT concept, they loaded trillions of bytes of data into the servers at the back end. And from that, they used statistical and mathematical techniques and used a architecture called transformer. I'll cover about maybe in later slides. I'm just giving you the introduction. So they used that almost 170 billion parameters they built. So when you ask a question, it understand out of all questions, all search engine links, what is most popular, but it's going to take it. It's not automatically give you answer from that link. It is going to regenerate the answer and give it to you based on your tone. Let's say your tone is, please answer as if you are a 5-year-old. I'm a 5-year-old kid. Then if you observe, the answer is automatically having the words towards how generally we explain to the 5-year-old kid. Ask about Chandrayaan 3. Ask about Chandrayaan 2. Just same question you ask. Explain me Chandrayaan 3. as if I am a ISRO scientist. You cannot understand any single word. You ask the same question. Explain me Chandrayaan 3 as if I am a 5 years old kid. Explains with the very simple words using the toy examples and so on. So that is having that sensibility. So over the period, what is important is then you need to know what is the tool. You need to understand what is your requirement. 90% of the cases, people are not using the artificial intelligence at length because they are not sure what they want. Even I know what I want. I don't know how to tell to the chat GPT. I don't know how to tell to the artificial intelligence. So over the period, than getting the answer, what is became popular, asking the question. Whatever I'm saying, you can cross check after 5 years. I'm sure within 5 to 10 years time, there will be new chapters at every standard from the school days that how to ask the question because the world is going to such a popular than knowing the answer because to know the answer there are any number of tools are available but to get the answer from that tool I need to know how to ask the question. That is what a new emerging concept evolved in the market called prompt engineering. Many people used chat gpt. They said it's not great, it's not super. Okay. Obviously, because it is like a small kid before you. You have to train it. You should make it understand. You should ask in such a way. Chat GPT must know. You cannot simply ask a one-line question because when you ask a one-line question, at the back end it's having thousands and thousands of parameters. It confuses and it takes what is most prominent. But when you ask your question more elaborate, each word when you ask out of 173 billion parameters it filter 60 parameters. Again if you ask extra question it filter 20 billion parameters. It comes to you narrowed down to the best answer. Many a times don't rush when using the tools. Okay, without going much into that, first let me explain what is gpt and what is chat gpt and so on. GPT stands for generative pre-training transformer. GPT is a deep learning model developed by OpenAI. OpenAI is a company, is a start. It used to be a startup, got most of the funding from Microsoft. Now it is almost 100% subsidiary or 80% controlled by the Microsoft. GPT is trained on a massive amount of text data to generate human text. The backend you can understand how much text data they put into the servers of ChatGPT. From that, it analyze and it predict what is the next word. See, whenever it is a very simple example, I can put it in this way. Instead of you need to learn what is deep learning, what is machine learning, and so on. When I see a person, listen, when I see a person, for example, when I saw Ravi Kishore Garu, automatically the more respect will come. How? How do I know? Within fraction of seconds. Is it because immediately I see him? Over the last 20 years, my mind is having a feed that he is your guru. Whenever I see GSR Garu, that lockdown time, whatever the work he has done, I always remember, automatically the respect will go up. Otherwise, there is one fellow. Whenever I see, automatically my glory will go down. Means maybe 15 years back, something he might have done, but that is always I carry. That means the experience. When I have more experience, that's the reason, kids, they're having little experience. Their mind may be having very little limited data. So that's the reason their response may not be great. So once you go over the period of time, you are having so much of data. From your data, automatically something will come up. You know how to respond. That is what the exact concept of deep learning neural network. It builds exactly the same type of neural. It will pick up the data, what is relevant, and it's going to give it back. So, not going again back, let me talk about one important thing of GPT. Yeah. If you look into the fourth one, I'll directly jump into the Excel and other thing. If you look into the fourth one, this is what even I feel the funda of life. It's not about how great innovative you are. It is about these days, especially, how quickly you adapt. As a chartered accountant, we should learn from this case study. In 2017, there is a company called Google. Google 100% subsidiary. There is an organization called Google Research. We call it as a Google Brain. The researchers, 8 researchers from Google Brain, so the world introduced a concept called transformer architecture of neural network. Transformer is a new architecture given to the world by 8 researchers from the Google in 2017 from the research paper called Attention is All You Need. Very beautiful paper, 15 pages, which is the fundamental core to the ChatGPT. But like other research, they have done this. They just given to the world. They forget and they did not believe on the concept of what they introduced to the world. Now there is a company called OpenAI, read this newspaper, understood what is this concept, they implemented into their product. Now that OpenAI company is threatening back to the Google using their own concept. So meaning, sorry to tell, how great experience we have. Until unless you put on the paper for the application, that is not at all helpful. Okay, so that's the reason I always tell seniors are always having good experience, there is no doubt. Juniors maybe at your office are having good technology skill because of age, because of their courses and so on. Both has to be mixed together. Technology alone cannot do anything. Otherwise, ChatGPT, OpenAI could have built this type of application long back. Why they have taken till 2018? Even experience doesn't matter until unless you use it. Like Google. Google is having great experience. With that experience, they have prepared to the world a concept called transformer. When you mix both, then you can do wonders. I always use this word. 10 members may be a chat GPT. I may be a chat GPT. But seniors are the prompt. If you don't know how to answer, how to question, people like me who use the application doesn't have any meaning. So at your office, if you want to do the best work using the technology, take the support of young members, give your experience, create a prompt, you will get the best result. As simple as it. Without taking much time, these are theory. Anyway, I'm going to share this presentation to all of you. Let me ask this honest question. How many of you opened Chat GPT till today at least once? Rather, how many did not open? I think that's okay. Did not open. Did not open, sir. One. Only one. You all used once or other, remaining all. At least one or other case. Tell me at what case you felt excited? At what case you felt excited? It has saved a lot of time to me. Otherwise, it made me earn. I earned from this small answer which ChatGPT has given at least some 5,000 rupees. Anyone? Okay. Yes. Yes, sir.
For use ChatGPT was to create an itinerary for my Australia.
Okay.
So it has given a 3-page itinerary.
Okay.
So everywhere it is like that. But if I keep that somewhere else, if I approach some travel agent,
Okay.
it's charging me around 5,000 rupees.
Oh, very good. Okay. So personal. Anyone professional use? Okay. Very good. Thanks to OpenAI, first of all. I think they know that I may be becoming a secretary of Hyderabad branch. Okay. So within 2, 3 months, in fact, it was a little earlier, ChatGPT introduced. So now most of the minutes in the office, we write a draft. We are not good with the language because of our background, my background, and so on. When we put that into the ChatGPT, it is drafting extraordinary. Extraordinary. Okay. So let me just tell you, whoever not tried, let me tell you another case study. In fact, where I have saved my time and earned money out of the chat GPT. Very recent concept. One of the case study of mine. I am building a small automation tool for one of the listed companies. Okay, since it is recording, I'm not trying to give the name. One of the listed company. Actually, they are looking for a Power BI tracker. So there are so many folders are there at the backend. Once I keep all the files into the folder, every day they download the files, they keep it into a folder that has to do a lot of transformation at the backend. And once they go to the Power BI or the dashboard, it should update automatically. Then, since every day they are going to replace the folder, they are going to change the name. Once you refresh, it's going to override the previous data, the new data will refresh. New data, it's going to keep it. Then they said, Sharon, let all the charts and everything should be latest. But I want one chart that should have a track of all the dates of last couple of days. Let's say if we started working on this for last 1 month, for every day I should have a line chart. And I said, it's not possible because we are not keeping the incremental data. We are keeping every day as on the data. So we are not storing anywhere this entire data. If you want to do that, it takes a lot of time. But Sharon, if that is not there, we don't want every day's only figures. We want how this is different than previous day. I want to have a trend. If that is the case, the only way is possible. You have to accumulate the data and upload. But actually, with day data itself, it is taking almost 3 to 4 minutes to refresh. You can understand how much data at the backend it is flowing. Now you understand for 30 days data together, let's say 1 GB data we are keeping into the folder. You understand 30 days, 30 GB data. Over the period of 365 days, 365 GB data. Then I said there is possibility, there is concept in the Power BI called incremental refresh. But since the volume is used, you have to take the Azure license. Then you should take another Pro license so that it automatically does the incremental refresh. Then whenever you come back, you just need to refresh so that you will get it. Sir, that much finance we don't have.
What is the license?
Azure license cost per month maybe 5,000, 6,000, maybe based on the data. They said, so we don't, because for which again we need to take the IT approval. It's a listed company. IT approval and everything is required. So we don't want to go into that. He said, at any cost, I want this. It's a challenge for me. People like me who are in the consultancy of automation. Then, don't believe, I asked ChatGPT, is there any way I can have a trend without storing the previous data, but only one specific table? ChatGPT also said the same. There is a concept called incremental refresh. You go and do there. I said, I asked any number of questions. See, ChatGPT is like a kid or like another person. He'll never answer directly. You have to keep on asking so that it understands a pattern out of your data. Then it's going to give you the correct. After almost like 30, 40 questions, it said, Sir, why can't you try macro combining with Power BI? Meaning, first you do the same concept in Excel. In Excel, once the table loaded, the final result, using a macro, you copy this and paste somewhere else. And whatever the pasted data, you took to the Power BI. Beautiful concept. I did not thought of. I exactly done the same, including the program, because it said VBA, right? When I asked, can you please tell me when the table refresh, automatically it should open my next sheet, paste below the previous data. It has given me the beautiful VBA for that. I just did nothing except copying the VBA, pasted there, refreshed in my Excel. Whenever the table update, it is copying paste special value in the next table. This entire table Power BI is reading. That means final result only incremental. I need not to increment the entire data. So I'm just trying to tell you different concepts using MS Office. I'm not going beyond your Excel. I'm not going into the programming like Sar was telling about Python. When people are talking about, especially in our profession 3.0, I'm surprised. Because I'll tell you another case study. Hyderabad branch COE, many certificate course they conduct. Blockchain is one course they conducted. I still remember 20,000 rupees, 5 days course. It was almost full 45 people. And they do conduct on a course, 3 days dashboard course on MS Excel, 5,000 rupees. Always once they announce, less than 10 people register, they cancel. They postpone. Again they announce, less than 5 people, again they cancel. One of my student asked me, was called, sir, I know blockchain, there is a course which is happening, 20,000 rupees, can I go? I said, last month there was also course called Excel, 3 days, which is exactly what is the content useful for a chartered accountant. Have you attended? Sir, Excel, anyway, we know. I said, first go and learn. That is required for your day to day. So in the market, n number of things are there. Why I bother? What is required for me? What is required for me? Because whatever I am using for which it should help me. Blockchain, SBI spent 380 crore. They are not sure how to get back out of it. So these all concepts are very at initial stage. You must need to know what it is. That's all. More than sufficient. Whenever the things are evaluating, when you are called as an advanced, when you know the basics. I cannot start my income tax practice today. I cannot become an advanced guy. I cannot become an expert of income tax because before me there are hundreds of people who are legends in the profession who are exclusively do the practice on income tax. I never ever become a income tax expert within next 1 month, even by day and night reading the entire barracks. It is with the experience. So what I'm trying to tell, AI is exactly the same experience. Let me tell you, if at all you are not used earlier, couple of case studies. In my case, if you see, it is ChatGPT plus GPT-4. This is ChatGPT 3.5. In your case, since you are not subscribed, I don't know how many of you subscribed for any 1 year GPT plus. Okay, you will find it, it is worth, but not now. It is slowly evaluating. I'll show you a couple of plugins, beautiful plugins. I tried one. I'll tell you, I tried one. I'm just also telling you how it's going to impact our profession. I kept in one Excel. There is a GPT-4 code interpreter. If you can go to the default in the plugins, there is an option called code interpreter, right? Once I go to the code interpreter, whatever you, even it is going to allow you to upload your files. It will analyze. It's going to give you the result in another file. You can download the file. But in the chat GPT 3.5, that type of functionality is not there. In the GPT 3.5, it's only the text-based one. And any application, how it evolve in the market, they only create the architecture. Example, Tally. Tally has created the architecture and basic ERP. Whether you believe or not, the people who are earning money out of the Tally by creating the add-ins, their total revenue is much higher than Tally revenue. Okay, that's the way a product can go into the market. Product cannot be proprietary. I want to build everything. Even I want to build add-in. No product, you can check it out, any product in the world. Idea, that is one of the products, though most powerful, but they failed because they are very proprietary. They don't want other people even to try. You go to the Udemy, search any of the video on idea tool, you will not even find one. They will not allow. They want only the channel partner through, in that country should take the trainings and so on. So product will never evolve. Product, people should talk about the product. Excel is famous because thousands and lakhs of people use Excel. They make the blogs. They go to YouTube, share the content. Python is one of the very, prominent programming application. Lakhs of groups are there. SAR is one of the group out of it. Lakhs of groups are there. A lot of content is sharing, right? Chat GPT I'll just tell you how it evolve in next couple of years. Chat GPT is one of such product. They are having huge content at the back end. If you are using GPT 3.5, approximately it is 173 billion parameters. If you go to 4, it is almost double, 400 plus billion parameters. Okay. Now, based on the concept at the back end, many plugins came into the world. I just show you a couple of plugins. Let me go to the plugin. I can go here. Let me go to the plugin store. See how in the world people are working towards making people's life easy. ChatGPT itself came November 30th. They have released the APIs in the month of February. February to today, not even 6 to 8 months, you see hundreds of plugins. It's only the time we need to little spend. Which plugin can help me day in and day out, where I can save my time through which I can earn money. We just need to have a little patience. You have n number of plugins. You go to all hundreds of plugins, 115 pages. Considering on each page 8, already 1,000 plugins are there, created throughout the world by many people. Let me show you one of the popular plugin. I can find one plugin which found it very easy. In fact, I'm using Ask Your PDF. Okay, what is this plugin? You just need to upload your PDF. Then you start asking the questions out of your PDF document. It's going to start giving you the answers. Okay. So you, whenever you have a time, just start going into that. Of course, when it is saving the time for you, it's not free at all. Maybe initially 5 PDF, 6 PDF are free. Later, it's going to charge. But it's fine when I know that I can save the time, because many people use Excel to bank statement to tally directly on Excel. Not even 1,000 rupees. They are happy to spend, because now instead of me handling 2 clients, I can handle 2 clients, so that I can just download the bank statement, put it into the format in Excel for the TDL. I'll just click a button, automatically all entries will be forwarded there. So my suggestion to all of you, whenever you have a time, just start going to each and every item, spend some time, understand whether it is really useful or not. Then if it is really directly useful, start using it. Okay. And whoever did not use earlier, let me tell you a couple of tips of using the chat GPT with my limited knowledge, with my experience till today, whatever I have used. Generally, what we write in a very simple item. Normally, for example, tomorrow we'll be conducting a national conference for the students. As a secretary, I should give the message in the souvenir. Okay. When I simply put a message, draft a message, just as an example, draft a message for the souvenir. Ignore the spelling, it automatically correct. Souvenir as a secretary, right? It doesn't understand the context. Okay. See, everywhere it just give you the variable. Since I did not give the context at all, it is only going to give you a very simple thing. You understand, just as an example, I just went here. This is a little more paragraph I have written. See how much prompt I have given. I am the secretary of Hyderabad branch of SCRC of ICI. Hyderabad branch hosting a national conference of CA students on 9th and 10th September at Shilpakala Vedika, Hyderabad. Have to share a message for the souvenir. I drafted the following. Please draft the message. If you ask Chat GPT to draft everything, it can draft anything. It doesn't know the context. Now, when I have given a very basic message, first initially what it has done, it just redrafted my message. Redrafted spelling mistakes, it has removed. Grammatical mistakes, it has removed. Extra value, some of the words, instead of my words, it found it much better using their words, and so on. Then I said, without considering my prompt earlier, you being my personal drafting assistant. So you have to, there is a concept in prompt engineering called role playing. You should ask what role it has to play. You give a generic question, ask generally analyze this financial statement as if it's a, just Google it, do whatever it want, put it there. You a financial analyst expert, you are a chartered accountant, you know the double entry system, you know the accounting principles, you know the IFRS, you know UAS. Considering all this, then you start analyzing the statement. That means what I said, you are a financial analyst. Out of 173 billion data, it is going to filter, it will find maybe some 20,000 parameters of data. Out of which, again, I said, you know IFRS. So out of this entire, it filter only for IFRS. It filter only for Ind AS. Drafting prompt has to be very clean. If you see here, how beautifully drafted, right? Then after that, I felt this message is very small, maybe with 2 more paragraphs. Let me honestly tell, confess before all of you, if I draft on my own, I'm 100% sure I may not put this much great language. Okay. But I'm just trying to tell you, it's not about only this. This just as an example, yesterday night I drafted. But I'm just trying to tell you at your day-to-day work, when you want to reply to the authorities, I'm not taking more of the example because when I go into the example, it takes 15-20 minutes. So I'm telling you different case studies so that you can go back and start working on the case studies, especially replying to the authorities. I'm sure it draft much better than you because it might have seen in the Google hundreds and hundreds of draftings from different legal websites. It takes the best out of it. It uses the best words and it's going to give it to you. How many of you till now drafted at least one reply to the authority using ChatGPT and submitted? Yes, sir. How many? Very few.
We took it as a basis.
Okay. Okay. Small things we may change. Are you doing this method or I'm going to give you two methods? Which method you follow, please let me know. You first ask ChatGPT to prepare a draft, then you take it, correct it, and submit. You draft first, then ask ChatGPT to correct and submit.
Second one is the one last.
First one? Okay. My suggestion, don't forget your fundamental responsibility. First you draft. Okay. Draft it, then give it to the ChatGPT. I told you, right? It understands everything. Then you know that what are missing in your draft. When you ask ChatGPT, I know that these are the things which I missed. However, at this particular paragraph, I want to use little legal words without changing my context. Like that, if you can put some 5 to 6 instructions, it drafts extraordinarily. Okay, do that.
It understands mostly, not all.
Sorry, sir.
It understands mostly.
If it understands everything, it replaces, sir.
All. Everything is not possible.
Everything is obviously not possible with anyone. Okay, it is a tool. We should take the help of it.
Mostly.
Yes, mostly. What, sir?
They are unable to search citations, sir.
Okay, so it is doing it.
No. Actually, I was able to. I just thought of through this. I thought of searching.
Okay.
It is giving some other citation.
Okay, that is also correct.
No, it's not correct.
Okay.
When I am saying that, I apology. It is wrong.
Okay, so that is also becoming like a human over the period.
Yes.
Okay, see, let me tell you,
Yeah.
sir. Let me tell you,
Mostly everything.
it is again how much content is there at the back end, much good it's going to give at the front end. I'll tell you one case. On the bank audits in the entire world in the Google, how much content is there in the YouTube or web bank audits related?
Maybe tetrabytes, sir. Out the tetrabytes.
Bank audit related. Considering the entire data which is there in the world, very negligible. Yes. Yes or no? When it comes to English language, when it comes to letters, drafting, throughout the world, people talk about it. Okay. You talk about IFRS, it may give you 90% correct. When you talk about because when it comes to the bank audit, it is one country, one set people only talk about it. After all, out of 4 lakh chartered accountants in India, 2,000 maybe in the practice, 75,000 only firms got a bank audit allotment last time. Only these people, because these people only less than percent do the contribution to the web, because remaining all consumers. So you understand in the entire globe of data, bank audit related data is minute. You cannot expect great result for bank audit because it is after all what data was there at the back end, what will come at the front. While you are asking the question, always remember whether this type of thing is already there in the web. If it is more, 100% there is no doubt that it's going to give wrong. 100% it gives. That's the reason we are only just trying to understand. ChatGPT is not for chartered accountants actually. ChatGPT is not for ex-professionals. Why professionals? Because the content or type of profession is there very less on the web. You ask about accounting, it will never fail. You ask about whether what is an entry for this particular item, 90% of the cases it never fails. Because accounting language is same throughout the world, double entry system. But when you ask about your regional small concept, it may not understand. Okay. It's the little difference between getting the answer, whatever you ask, that you ask with the context, it's going to give the answer. I'll give you a couple of small things. I'll just go here. In fact, for your information, in fact, I'm in the recording. Okay. When we were searching for what name we can keep it for the conference, okay. Generally, the words, some Sanskrit words and so on. Along with other people, of course, many human committee members suggested, we asked ChatGPT, it has given 30 names out of which we have selected one because Gyanoshav is something which we found it very interesting. Because we asked the combination of knowledge, celebration, and out of which it has given 30 names. And also we said, try to look into the Puranas. And if at all any Sanskrit word is there, try to add it. And our prompt itself is very big so that it cannot go out of our boundary. So it should be into the boundary. It has given 30 parameters, you don't believe. Okay, no hesitation because at the end, something good we have to find out. So we found otherwise, if we try to, make it few, maybe maximum 5, 6 we can identify. Otherwise, our mind will not go beyond the creativity. Let's take a small concept of Excel. Small, 2, 3 case studies I'll cover. Henceforth, Excel is not just a small application. Excel is one of the great application, I'll say. Maybe next 2, 3 years, if Excel can be, you can make another applications using Excel. That's what we cover now. Now, have you seen Copilot will take little time, another 3, 4 months. It's almost done. Okay, since more examples are not there, I'm not covering maybe next session. If you see, there is an option here. There is an option here. 1 second. Because since I was here, Sir was a little curious about Python. First, I want to, show this, then we'll go into the next examples.
So Python not Vishnu, not
No, sir, tomorrow another Anaconda will, already Anaconda is there. Okay, so something will come which will beat by, it's only about, so if you see, in fact, my Excel got updated just a week back. There's a Python review. Meaning, how many of you know programming language, at least one programming language here as a chartered accountant? Okay, which one, sir? How long back? Okay. Okay.
2000.
Okay. So programming languages, in fact, whatever that time C plus still very powerful. Python, it's not new. Almost 1990s, before even 1990s, but became popular from 2000 of data science. Okay. So they introduced Python into the Excel. Many times, even I feel, if I want to make a small summary, why I always need to go to the pivot table, drag it, drop it, and so on. Why can't I write a small program so that there itself I can get it? Okay. So using the Python, now you can do all those jobs. For example, I'm not going in depth into the Python. When you say py, automatically your entire program here will become towards the Python programming.
Something about Python.
No, I'm not going into the Python. I'm just going to give the introduction. That's all. Okay. In fact, I had to browse more. If you see, the formula bar would entirely turned towards the Python programming bar. You can start writing the codes. In Python, writing 2, 3 line items of the code, you can create a lot of things, a lot of analysis. And also the best part of Python. How many of you know the let function of Microsoft Excel? LET. No? Start using it if already not. I'm sure whenever you want to write a formula in Microsoft Excel, sometimes the formula length will go very big. But if you really see the formula, the same type of formula we use n number of times. Okay, that means small calculation. If error, here again in the VLOOKUP, the same thing again and so on. Just tell you with a small comparison, the let function so that you can understand what exactly it is. It is a very simple thing. If you can see the formula, you can identify. I can define x is 10. I can define x is 10. Y is x. Because already x is 10. Then y is x means 10. Now z is x plus y. Finally, what calculation I want, x plus y plus z. Right? Enter. It's 40. See, because of this function, the way the Excel works entirely different. Now, if you see, whenever I get a chance, maybe because it's recording, otherwise, I show you my files. Earlier, the formulas used to be very long. Now, for example, if I want to store some small formula, I can store with the name called X. I can store another formula with the name called Y. I can store another formula with the name called Z. Final formula, instead of using this formula, this formula, this formula, I can use X, Y, Z. So that you can understand when repetitive calculations are things are there in your formula, especially using if function, it saves a lot of time. That is what the let function is, right? So in the same way, when it comes to the Python, this acts as a Python. It is, I'll just give you a little introduction since it is new, so that remaining thing you can go to the YouTube and start learning. Python can only give you two things. One is as an object. If you want to understand this concept of object, I want to ask the question, how many of you know there is a concept called data types? Anyone? Data types of Excel? Has anyone tried? No. For your information, that introduced almost 4 years back, 5 years back. Long back. Another powerful functionality. Example, I'll tell you. Whenever you want to know USD by INR, just as an example, let's say today is the date and we want to take this minus, let's say, 30 days. If I want to know the currency rate, where you will go? Don't go anywhere. There is an object at the back end called stock history. You just take this what the date, sorry, stock script. This is what my start date. This is what my end date. I'll just use a function, date of 2023. Let me take 8. Let me take 1. Let's say take date of, otherwise I'll just simply take today. Check it out. What it has done, it has automatically, see at my office, when it comes to the ESOPs case or any case where currency rate is required, we never go to the YouTube or Google to take the currency rate of a particular date. This is a very simple thing. This is an object at the back end. Okay. So automatically, however, internet is required. Even for Python, internet is required. Okay. So automatically capture the data and display for you. Now, instead of USD by INR, anyone having a script of State Bank of India? Anyone? Anyone holding a stock? What is the price today, sir?
I think it is 40. 500.
Oh. This is, yeah, yesterday it was 579, is it?
Correct.
Yeah, it should be. Okay, so this is an object. Another one I'll tell you. State Bank of India. State Bank of India. This is also another small type of artificial intelligence which is part of your Excel. When I select this, when I go to the data, stock, it's going to create this as an object. It is just asking me to select which stock exchange, National Stock Exchange.
That with it's good.
This is the card. This is the object I'm talking about. Because we all will slowly, maybe next 2 years you will learn. Okay, now it is very basic.
Think it is.
When you click this, you can, it is asking you what type of data you are looking for, Mr. Saran. When you are in the valuation, when you want a data for 30 companies, then how you can do that? Instead of you going into the market, Google for 30 companies, taking it, copy paste, you take all the 30 companies which are listed in the market, so you just connect your stocks. Okay, this is acting as a small artificial intelligence. At the back end, there is a data from the meters. It's going to give you what is required. Exactly, that's the same meaning. Even when I say about PY, that's a Python. Do you want to?
Think this program,
Sorry, sir.
money control website is using.
They are directly getting the data from the.
Start with it.
Yeah, they are directly getting the data from NSE. NSE sell the data. Na? They for every minute or based on your duration, it's going to charge it. Okay, so here the meaning of this one, do you want the result or do you want it to give you as a, data frame? That's an object. Okay. over the period you can learn. And let me tell you a couple of very interesting already items which are part of your Excel. Now, in fact, this analyze option is something, if you can click it, this is another small artificial intelligence. It will take your data, it start analyzing your data. So since the data is very small, it could not analyze in a much bigger way. So it has given you some 7 to 8 different charts and so on. Let's say you are in rush. You want to prepare some PPT from the data. In fact, we are dark that time. Only 30 minutes time is there, 15 minutes time is there. We cannot prepare a pivot table, summaries and so on. My suggestion, you simply select the data, just go to the home tab, click analyze some of the Excels. This is called as an idea. Okay, you use it, right side automatically it's going to give you. If the data is used, let me tell you, you may not identify, it's going to give you so many patterns than what manually we identify. It's going to give you the outliers, especially in case of invoice data. It's going to give you automatically the summaries based on the items which are available. Let's say if you don't like this, otherwise, if you want to prepare something else, you can start asking this question. Let me make it more prominent so that you can see it. This is what the analyze. This is part of your Excel, which is a small artificial intelligence again. Let me ask the question. Uh, highest, what is the high close rate? Again, it's prompting. It may not understand. Yeah, check it out. Once you click it, it's going to take it because it is just okay converting my date into the number. Since the data is not very huge, that's the reason. Otherwise, when we take something a little bigger data, now let me open some data. Maybe my just give me 1 minute. See, options are there, but unfortunately, what is that? We are not using it.
Not necessary.
Yeah, if you think so, yes.
Then we
Okay, let me copy it, paste it. Now you click this analyze. Otherwise, to do some of the parameters, summaries, it takes a lot of time, right? Now let me click analyze. Let me just show you. Now looking at your data, how many things it made it for you? Check it out. It made a beautiful pivot table with the subtotals, with summaries like this. It has given you a chart like this. So that at least by looking into this, I understand that, okay, where government related sales, there is more. There's small business, there is a next level and so on. Otherwise, at least you need to spend some 10-15 minutes time to prepare these many charts and so on. If you want more, not only this, how many results it has given? 35 more results. Check it out. I'm 100% sure before you do yourself any work, if you can go to analyze and start looking into this, at least one special pattern you will identify. Because out of 37 different analysis, at least one may be helpful for us. Okay. This is about Microsoft Excel. This is one functionality which I use very okay exhaustive. If you want to ask the question, let me start asking the question segment wise sales. See, it has given segment wise sales. If you want chart, it's going to give you. Otherwise, if you want a pivot, you just need to do what? Just click it. So that it's going to get that particular data into your Microsoft Excel. As simple as it. Along with your chart. See, check it out. If you can see here, it has created a chart with a proper heading. It has created a pivot table for me and it is displaying automatically for me. If you want all 37 items, just click insert one after other. All items will be created as a 37 items. If you go to the Word document, very recently, small things got introduced. Not sure how many you already know it. How many of you generally type it then ask Word to type automatically? In fact, advocates use Dragon software because they stopped using typing long back, almost 15 years back. There is a very powerful, in fact, leave about advocates, even judges, judiciary members are using the same software called Dragon. But after introduction of NLP into Microsoft Word document, now you need not to spend, because for them drafting is more time. You need not to, spend a lot of time. There is an option here called dictate. How many of you do that? This option is about the dictate. One of the very powerful option, whatever you speak, it exactly give you, including your speed. It may go wrong now, but when I start making my speaking habituate to my Word document, it automatically give you with the same type of speed. And over the time, when you can make it habit, even it can understand your jargons, even it can understand your local language. It is only the thing I need to make it habit. It should understand my pronunciation. It should exactly. But over the period, start using it. It will never ever goes wrong.
That is the part of pre-training.
Correct. Okay, so this is one of the NLP application which is already part of your Microsoft Word document. Okay, sometimes I may be very busy. I just want to speak. It should automatically write. Then you can best use of this. And let's say you are written something. Let's say you are written something, and you are doing some other work, but you want to clear it. Do you know there is an option? Let me stop this. What is the option? You can just go to the review. There is an option, read aloud. Just let me. Oops, 1 second.
For all this, you need a legal software.
Of course, that is very much required. Okay, that ideally we should not ask in this forum. As a CA, we should have a legal software. Okay, so other.
Days we can,
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
one are the days when you have to use legal software.
Yes, yes.
You have to do only legal software to.
Okay, I'll just hear this.
That goes without saying. Son, you're sad. Sometimes they are in labor office.
Sorry, sir.
Labor office. Yeah.
See, you may be doing some other work. And
Labor office, get them.
you can change your speed. If you don't like the voice of this fellow, there are n number of voices are there. Okay, you can keep any of your voice. I'll tell you the best use of it in Microsoft Excel in the audit. This small functionality you can use it, which is part of
Music.
Of course.
review. Which one, sir?
Just when you try to go to.
Okay, this one in the review tab. Read aloud. Aloud.
You can type in this choice.
Yeah, we can. Otherwise, if you are not finding it, there is a search option. You can search any functionality, you will find it. I'll tell you, just since we are talking about this, a small functionality in Excel. How many of you know that there is a speak option even there in Microsoft Excel? It is there. Let me just paste here. Now I can go to the file tab, especially in the audit, very important, because when you are doing a watching, there are 50 pages are there. Invoice numbers are there one below other. Instead of me checking this, let it loud so that when someone, as if our colleague is and we are correcting it. We'll just show you. We can just go to the options. Small AI features. We just need to embed it, adopt it. That's the only thing. You just go to the quick access toolbar.
Knowing and doing are different.
Sorry, sir.
Knowing and doing.
Okay. Yes, sir. Let me go down. Just select the popular commands. You just go to the end. There is an option called speak cells and enter. Start using it at your day-to-day work. I'm sure you can understand much better. There should be an option called speak cells.
Intelligence or music.
Speak cells, not speak cells. Speak cells on enter. Let me just, unfortunately, there is no search bar here. Yes, yes. True, sir. Okay, so speak cells. Speak cells. I'll tell you. Sir. Let's say, for example, I've taken this. Otherwise, I've taken this. I can just go to my speak cells.
Units sold. 1,000.
You can change into the Indian language so that you can change the, the speed so that when it reads it, I need to see it. Now when I have a document, I can just click it and start using it.
But change raga, raga, many things can be done.
Yes. Okay, so
Institute sound, motor sound.
motor song. What's that? That is standard. That we cannot change it.
I changed it.
Okay.
Made it this.
So this is one thing you can try. I don't know how many of you tried in the PowerPoint design option. Yes, one of the very beautiful option. You just give a small draft. It's going to okay. Anyway, today's our PPT is there. Let me just go here. I'm just showing small AI functionalities which are already part of your Microsoft tools. Now, for example, I just want to create a small. Let me just go here. A new slide. A new slide. This is a small content. I just wanted to give a small content. This Control C. Let's go here. Let me introduce a new slide. Just paste here. If you have a chat GPT icon, otherwise, okay, let me drag a little down. If I can put a small image of chat GPT, this device, 1 second. I can just go to my personal.
You go to the YouTube.
See, I did not take it. This is not from my computer. Based on the content, it is just trying to give what is there already. Probably we can take it. Otherwise, you can just have a filter. You can just start typing. What I want is I want to take from this device. Let me take something like, let me go to Thursday for technology, others. Any icon you can take it for that matter. Let me take the ChatGPT icon. When I just say, let me close this, let me go to the home, right side by default. We find many designs it has shown it to me. Okay. This is again another small type of artificial intelligence where it has shown you different ways of the same data presentation. Now I can just take this instead of in the header as a text, then it's going to show you prominently where it can fit. It automatically adjusts your size and so on. This is one important type of thing. If really many people are using the PowerPoint also having a lot of features. How many of you know that now you can record the PowerPoint as if you are recording in the Zoom like? Okay, there is a record functionality. You can even set a prompt at the back end because the slide can have only one, 2, 3 line items. But at the back end, I want to explain so much content that you can put it as a prompt. It will not display to the other person. It is only display to you. And you can read it and explain. It's going to create a video for you and store it somewhere. Okay, so that instead, if I don't have a time, I can just make my presentation, share across to someone. They can do that. In general, yes, yes. Okay. Along with prompting is there, sir. Presenter view is basically at the bottom you find the notes. Okay, prompt view is basically whatever the content you keep it, but scroll as if we are the TV readers. How TV readers are having prompting, slowly it will go above. So that exactly we can see it and read it with that speed. We can reduce and it will otherwise notes will not move. If it is a paragraph, we need to scroll down.
Can increase and decrease.
Yeah.
Okay, any prompt?
Any prompt, exactly.
But we don't display on this.
No, it will not display on the video. No, it will not display on the screen. If you want to, especially short videos, we want to present, let's say, for example, our institute, then we are having a content, but that content should not be appeared to the other person. But we want to read the content exactly because we drafted. Then if that is the case, it adds as a teleprompting. Yes. Let's go into the another thing because since there is a demand to explain me about the cloud. Though they said OneDrive, let me tell you, how many of you are using now physical server at your office? Only when you go to office and open it, then only things are working. Anyone? 1, 2. Still I can see 3. Okay. Physical server in the sense, if you have to go to office, open it, then only you can access the data. Yeah. My request, all of you, soon please move towards the cloud. Because these days, in fact, physical server, a lot of issues are there.
That should go in other. It should open in the office.
Everywhere, wherever you want, mobility. Today morning, I forget to share my profile. When sir asked me that is there in my cloud, then immediately I opened from my phone and I shared.
Wonderful.
Very good. So there are a couple of softwares in the market when it comes to the cloud. One is OneDrive. The other one is Google Drive. Google Drive is okay. It is web based. The other one is Dropbox. OneDrive is basically if you have a Microsoft Office 365 in that enterprise version, by default, you have a OneDrive of 2 TB. Okay. And it's having the same functionality what other clouds are having. But only advantage of the what's the advantage of the cloud? The same I can open at my phone. I can just sign off there. I can go and open at the other system and I can share it to my staff and so on. Sorry? Yes. So anywhere. So mobility is there. So I need not carry like earlier everywhere my laptop or my data. And another biggest problem is we need not share across through the emails. If it is a physical server, we are outside, we'll ask our staff, please share in the email the document because we cannot access it. Okay, probably you can take the cloud, then you can access it. Let me just show you. In fact, I do have a cloud, a OneDrive. I do have a Google Drive. Before that, let me show you what I am using so that I can demonstrate other things. Are you finding here? There is an option here, Dropbox. Everything is my office server, right? And another because these days lot of rights, lot of issues, laptop systems. When they even you can even just go back to, for example, I logged off here. Whenever anyone they can see my data. I don't want this data to be displayed after that. Then what I need to do, I'll go to my web, I go to my account of my cloud, I can disable all the devices. Whenever next time, whenever they open and connect to the internet, the data will erase from here. Okay, one of the best option. And the best part of any cloud is even OneDrive is exactly this. If you can see here, we have an option called OneDrive. With the form name we have taken as an enterprise. This option is there. It has already loaded. It is there. And this is trying to sync already sync, which is available in both the places and so on.
ಈಗ the authorities cannot retrieve it.
Sorry?
Legal authorities.
They can, sir. I did not say that. Okay, so the other option is any OneDrive or Dropbox, you can share it. You can share it. You can view on the Dropbox in the sense online and so on. While you are sharing it, you need not to share edit option. Probably you can just share the view option. Okay. In fact, my Thursday for technology sessions, I keep all the working files in the same YouTube video as a view access so that they can go to this entire folder. They can start using it. For example, if I want to just share across this content to you, I can simply go here. I can just click share. Just go here, just share. It's going to create a link for you. Just copy paste that link. How I use it, I'll tell you so that it may be beneficial to you. If not, you can have a best practice. You can share across to me. We have taken 2 TB of cloud. Okay, OneDrive as well as Dropbox. Then sorry.
Home version అయితే 1 TB. Enterprise అయితే
Ours is the enterprise, sir. We have taken with our firm name because our email IDs and everything is there with that. So whatever, see, 1 TB is more than sufficient for our data. You can take it as small as you can. And we ask our staff to take it. If it is one not required, because OneDrive, if you take any Office 365 version, for 5 users, you can use it. Each user can use it in 6 devices.
and each get 1 TB.
Each get 1 TB. That's an advantage of OneDrive. That means you can understand not each user get 1 TB. 5 users get 5 TB. Yes. But the same 1 TB can be there in 6 devices. Okay. So that's the best part of OneDrive. So whoever not already using Office 365, my suggestion, you can subscribe it. And in fact, it is 6, if I'm not wrong, 700 rupees, 800 rupees enterprise version, which we are paying.
6,500
Per annum.
home version.
Per annum. Yeah. We are paying per month. It is almost like 700, 600 rupees.
How it has become peanuts.
Yes. Okay. So I request all of you start using it and start taking the advantage of it.
Microsoft built a big river.
Yes. Yes, sir.
With lots of money you're paying.
I'll tell you how I am using the Dropbox. The same concept you can use it in the OneDrive. One best concept which we are using is because we need not subscribe for everyone, and also the data should be limited, given to the staff. We ask them to download the Dropbox. Dropbox is having free option till, if I'm not wrong, 5 GB. Okay. At any time, I know that my staff will not hold more than 5 GB. So what I do, I'll just give the access for all the files which are required for them to work. Once the work is done, I'll take the access back. Means any time my staff system will only have the files on which they are working. They are not having an access to any other files. So that one is security, the other one is, unnecessary redundancy of the data will not be created, and so on. No, OneDrive is different. Dropbox, all are cloud.
There, I used to use my office OneDrive, sir.
Okay.
Many files got deleted.
OneDrive, mein? No.
Got deleted.
It will not happen.
So, I put to for the whiteboard.
No, not required. See, I'll tell you another best advantage of using the cloud. At one time, obviously, in our offices, what is the biggest problem? One guy delete the file, but he will not tell. In fact, he acts first. Someone complain us. Sir, some file got deleted. Someone deleted. Okay, he is the only one, maybe. But when it comes to the deletion, we cannot have a track of it because we are not a system engineers to take a entire log file who deleted this file and so on. Now, how to get back that file? And generally, they have an habit of shift delete. Okay, don't do that. Just delete. And after over the period of last 1 month, you always go and clean it. Because if any file you delete, you maximum will get use of that file next day or after that day, maximum 1 week. If you are not getting remembered after 1 month, means that's a useless file. You can delete it. So don't shift to delete. Just delete. Let it be there in the recycling bin. The advantage of recycling bin is whenever I want, I can restore. Okay. So they delete the file. But once at my office, almost one big company entire high folder, that means top folder deleted, means all subfolders files got deleted. Almost like 370 files. And they were scared to tell me. They were just looking here, there. The files are not there. They deleted. Then they said to me, sir, files got deleted. We don't know how it happened. So he will started blaming this fellow used this fellow, and so on. Then I went back to my Dropbox. Thanks. We have a access, prime access. So 6 months deletion backup is always there. Even whatever you delete, 6 months they keep it at the backup. If you want more than 6 months, then they charge extra $1 and so on. So that is the best advantage. See, we don't appreciate the applications when we regularly use it. When at the time really the files are not visible for us, then you will get to know how important it is. Do you remember in 2017-18 at Hyderabad, many chartered accountant offices, exactly at the tax audit time, virus attack, ransomware. Many offices, including one of the regional council member office also. Okay. So a lot of people complained to the cyber what they can do. They'll not do anything. So if you open any Excel file, so 1 Bitcoin you need to pay, 0.5 Bitcoin you need to pay. Then once they pay, they'll release. You understand? Because it's a tax. Otherwise, if it is not a tax audit season, I'll retry from here and there. Almost like September 20th. Because of one small application we used to use that time, other than TeamViewer, other than any desk, I don't know how many of you remember there is a tool called AMI software. AM1Y. In fact, many people used to promote that. Because that is like another desktop sharing application. Only our chartered accountants used that software. Everywhere there is a virus. Okay. So when really time is required, that time you can pay anything. Okay. That time many CA offices, they paid whatever the 2 Bitcoins, 1 Bitcoin they asked for and they got access. Okay. So this is about the cloud. You can just have an access. If time permit, maybe I'll just show you online also how you can make it.
I think you are coming to the end of this discussion.
Yeah, since another, I think inaugural is there.
The 5-10 minutes, right?
Yeah, maximum. If they allow. You have another 5 minutes, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They are on the way?
No, they are going to take.
Oh, okay.
Some comfort taken the 10 minutes. And comfort snacks and tea are there.
Oops.
Sir, next, sir.
It's only about the tools, sir. Tools are there, but we are not using it. That's the only thing. For everything, there are beautiful tools. Yeah, you can see my entire data, which I can access anywhere. The advantage, see, I always find Microsoft products are great in one way because they are integrated. Okay. Excel, you can open web. The same Excel, you can open on the desktop. Whatever the changes you are done, you can store in the OneDrive. The same OneDrive file, you can open on the web. Okay. Integration is there. When OpenAI got collaborated with Microsoft, first thing is Microsoft products are used by billions of people. Okay. Day in and day out. When the collaboration is more effective, then at every Microsoft product, a chat GPT type of thing is going to come. Have you heard about this word called Copilot? Copilot? Very soon, maybe within 3 months, they are going to introduce this to you all. Just to give you what is a snap of it, I'll not share anything out of it, just from the Microsoft Excel, just to share you how important it is if you don't learn the latest things. Copilot, right? Copilot, MS Office. Let's open from this is the only 1 minute video, not more than that. I request everyone quickly watch it. How important it is. Henceforth, we need not to type it. It does the work for me. The same chat GPT, now the fine-tune concept is coming here. Yes, Word all, Excel also. See, this is the Word document.
If you happen to use LibreOffice,
No, sir.
never heard it or
No, no. See, this is about PPT. It is asking create a 10 slides presentation based on the Word document it created. It is automatically taking the images. Okay, from the Google, what are the best suited images and so on. See, from the Excel, it just asked a question. The chat box, could you please give me top 10 sales of last week? Even in the Teams, after the meeting, it is going to give the summary of the discussion. This is the future. Okay, this certainly will be part of every system henceforth. Check it out how simply it created. See, if tomorrow I have a huge data, when I have a chat GPT type of chat box in my Excel itself, I need not to write the formulas. I'll simply ask it in a language what it can understand. Okay, that's what I'm again and again stretching a point. The future is about asking. Every application, the future is about you just need to ask what you want in a proper language. Let's go back to this. Okay. One, I don't know.
available.
Sorry?
You should know what to ask and the same should be available.
Correct.
Both
But
are-
that is 90% available because it is from the same data we are going to ask. I'll tell you one more ways how this GPT will evolve. As I was mentioning, now very recently, I don't know how many of you I kept even in the folder. I'm going to share it. Let me very quickly review.
What you see is what you will get.
Yes, sir. Let me just open this topics. I just given a timeline how over the period it evolved. How many of you heard the news about very recent change which happened, very recent update by the ChatGPT on 28th August? They launched ChatGPT Enterprise, which offers enterprise grade security and privacy, unlimited higher speed of GPT-4 access, longer context windows for processing longer inputs, advanced data analysis capabilities, customization options, and much more. I'll tell you one case study. Okay, in fact, one listed company when recently had a discussion with me, they are in the process of implementing this. I'm sure many of you maybe at least worked in the industry earlier. there is a department called FP&A, Financial Planning and Analysis, MIS department. Whenever boss asks them, in companies, this is what it happened. Whenever boss asks them, could you please give me last 1 month data for this particular vendor, for this particular region? Also compare the same figure with the previous year for the same period. How much time generally staff take to pull this information from the ERP, filter it, keep it one after other for 2 periods? At least half an hour, 45 minutes time. Certainly, some of the cases it is maybe more because opening a file, because it's a huge file of the data out which they have to take for a specific period of last 1 week for a specific client for a specific region, copying and pasting it definitely it takes more time. Understand? Tomorrow, when they already released enterprise version, they have already given APIs. Using their APIs, if I can make my entire SAP data read like ChatGPT, it can understand the parameters. There is a chat box the CFO will have. Why he is going to ask the subordinate? He's going to ask the question. Look into my data, give it to me this data. Days are not far away. Let me tell you how it's going to impact again. Why accountant world is very famous in the world? How, first of all, accountant world is there? Because there is an accounting language. Yes or no? If accounting language is not there, the accounting word is not there. As simple as it. What is accounting language? Double entry system. Understanding the double entry system. Don't you think tomorrow one application will come in the future? In that application, I need not to put the double entry system. I will simply put my English sentences. For example, I am an MSME. Right. Day in and day out, maximum every day, more than 30 transactions will not be there. Maximum 30. Then at the end of the day, I'll open my phone, I'll open a small speaker, I'll start dictating my phone. Today I deposited 10,000 into the bank and I have withdrawn 5,000. Then I got 5,000 rupees from the customer ABC. And out of the stock, I sold 4 items. A new product called X. I got it 10 items. Cost of 400 rupees. Today I paid the rent of 350 rupees. And I paid the electricity bill of 440 rupees. That's I'm sure this is an evidence of Word document which can convert my language in English language into the English accurately. Don't you think these sentences will be converted into the double entry system tomorrow?
Yes.
So if that is the case, the person, so I'm just trying to tell you about the accounting jobs. Tomorrow, one application, I'm sure in the world, someone may be thinking in the same line. They may be already started building this type of application. Tomorrow, one application will come for an MSME client or even the company employee. They just need to spell it out. That's all. Automatically, once entries are over, we know already ledgers will automatically prepare. Then automatically posting will happen into the ledgers, trial balance, balance sheet, and P&L. In the tally, we only do what? We connect our ledgers, masters to the transactions. That is nothing but an entry we call. If that can be done automatically, if you think tomorrow the financial statements will automatically come with just by speaking, days are not far away. We just need to be ready, that's all. So that's the reason always think little beyond on the day-to-day work what you are doing. I'm 100% sure if you start using the tools, you can save a lot of time. Around, I'm just trying to share because a lot of young members are there. All the assignments which we are doing at my office in my domain, no traditional practice, but not going out of finance. We are in the finance and accounting, but everything is automation consulting. I'll tell you what is an advantage of it. No signature, risk is not there. First, direct value addition to the client. Client earlier used to spend, I told you one assignment where I embedded macro with the Power BI. Otherwise, that particular assignment they used to do every month. They don't have a time to do every day. Every month, twice, 15 days once, half day they used to spend because huge data they have to download, they have to do the filters, they have to put the if function, pivot table, and so on.
Now everything is transformed using the Power Query. From the Power Query, that is automatically going into a proper dashboard. Even they need not to run it because they are having an SAP, that files will automatically download midnight 12:50, 12:01 a.m. and morning 10 a.m. their email will automatically fill with a file. If probably I can just show you. Okay, even my Gmail also, if I open morning 10 a.m. one file automatically come from the Power BI. The latest data chart for me. You understand? No manual interruption, but still everyday data they can be processed now. How much time they are saving? It's a direct value addition. When you do an assignment using the technology, when it is a direct value addition, price is not a criteria at all. They'll be happy. Because compliance always used to negotiate for the price. Because it's a compliance. If government asks them not to file your GST return, they're happy. Do you think anyone voluntarily will file GST returns? No. If they give a voluntary option, compliance is always a burden to the client. That's the reason they negotiate. Value addition will never be a burden to the client, but there is a risk for the client because they are having a pain. You are the guy understanding their process, making automation, making their work process easy, and they least bother to pay. And for which what is required? What is required? Using the latest tools. If you ask me, I'll just put in a simple way from where we need to start as a finance professional. Start from Excel. Start from Excel. Then after Excel, many people think, okay, I can get from the Flipkart today Excel Bible 365 book, which is having 1,000 pages. I'll read this weekend. No, that will not happen. At least 1 year you should work again and again on the Excel related assignments. Do you know Power Query? How many of you are using Power Query? This I am started telling at every seminar for the last 4 years. Now the world is talking about Power Query. By next 3 years, you don't have any other option. You have to learn Power Query. I'm sure branches will conduct how Excel sessions are technology. They'll start keeping Power Query sessions. How many of you know Power Query? Started using Power Query? Anyone? Which is part of your Excel. Just started, which is part of your Excel. Okay, so I'll just show you how powerful the Power Query without spending much of the time. Let me just show you a small thing. I'm just touching upon the topics because this is not a workshop.
Understanding our queries.
Sorry, sir.
Not understanding our queries.
Who?
Our query.
Okay. It's a transformation tool, sir. Let me just show you. This is, in fact, is there in the YouTube also. In fact, Vijayawada branch YouTube also. I've taken this long back. Yeah. Okay. Small reconciliations. If you can just change the figures here, let me put 99999. Once I enter, if you just go back and refresh, just go to the data, refresh, your reconciliation is automatically done. Let me just click this. But for your information, I have not written a single line of the code. I have not written a great programming. Everything is clickable buttons.
Reusable objectives.
One check. Yeah. Now it's there only in the bank 3 items, right? Now I'll add one more item with the name called 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me put it. Everyone, please observe here 1,000. Now this particular 1 lakh is only in the bank, right? Where it should come? It should be part of my reconciliation statement here, and it should also be part of here only in the bank. Yes. Now, if I can just go on refresh, don't worry, it is still running the background while. See, come. You can add it. So small reconciliations without doing a great work. When you know that this work you need to do for every client, you can just start using the Power Query. Once you are good with the Power Query, okay, I'm talking about young members. It takes little time to learn the Power Query, at least 3 to 6 months. Once you are confident about the Power Query, then I request you to go to Power BI. In the Power BI, what is important? The DAX. Have you heard about this? any type of question in the world. In fact, DAX is not becoming more popular because in the world, very few people know the DAX. Not even 0.0001%, but very popular, very, very popular. Meaning, I'll just show you. Okay. Now everything is enterprise, meaning you need not to write great formulas. It is only about using the items. I'll just show you one small example. I'm sure you can understand how important it is. For example, I'll just go to the Power BI just as a small case study for all of you. Let me open this. Some sample data. If you go to the Power BI these days, you need not even search for the sample. Once you open the Power BI, automatically take the sample data. It automatically give you the data. If you go to the Excel, there is a rand between. You can create number of records, whatever you want. If you go to the Word document, how you will get the sample data? There is a formula equal to rand open bracket close bracket. Word document will though it's a Word document, you can write a formula for your information. Automatically, you will get some 10-15 paragraphs. If you put equal to rand open bracket 100 close bracket, 100 paras it's going to give you, so that you can start practicing it. It is just taking a little time. Okay, any question, I'll show you some AI insight into this. It is just Q&A. You just ask the question, it's going to give you the visual. As simple as it.
RAM is 8 GB or 15 GB?
My RAM is 8 GB, sir.
So it's slow. Now we need to go for 16 GB.
I think it is 16. I forget. It should be ideally i7 and high processor. I generally use
16
RAM and
GB.
processor both are. I'll just show you. This is a small Power BI. I'm just touching upon all. Okay.
More than
I'll ask you one question when it comes to the data analysis. Here I did a small analysis of the data. I got for a particular segment, this for one sample data we tried. From Excel also you can think to answer these questions. I got a segment wise COGS net sales is there. Now I want to compare this net sales with one segment net sales. Try to understand. I want to compare this net sales with channel partner net sales. That means this divided by channel because it's the same one. This percentage, this percentage, this percentage. In Excel, how we do? Pivot table you cannot do because you cannot get the next column of the one specific item. So first you need to put a pivot table. You should get this type of summary, copy paste separately. Then you get the total of that particular item, put into the next column, copy paste. Then you add the percentage. Lot of work. That's an advantage of the DAX. You can create the DAX in such a way, automatically parameters will change. It automatically takes the parameters, the values. Whenever I change it, the figures will automatically change it. Okay. So for any question,
dashboard, right?
not dashboard, DAX, data analysis expression formulas. Okay. We're just talking about Excel. If you are good with Excel, go to the Power Query. After the next level of Power Query, the DAX. Okay. Power Pivot is exactly the DAX. Once you know the Power Query and DAX both, visuals, I'm sure you are master than me because it's purely about how good you are with the formatting. So that your charts and everything you can build in such a way. But here, what is important? The DAX. Once you know the DAX, then SQL, I don't know how many of you know the SQL. Knowing little SQL can help your career. Considering the future, I'm telling you. As on today, if the world is not changing for next 20 years, I only suggest you go to Excel, learn it. That is sufficient for our provision. But considering the way how fast the world is growing, I'm just suggesting you learn little bit the SQL. Small SQL, small things. You need to know, you need to know small query steps, small prompting in the SQL and so on. Once you are done and everything is done, now you feel I am confident if any data is there, I can analyze much better. Then I suggest you to go and start learning about Python. That changes the way you work. As I already mentioned, that means Excel is already there at this level. We are there at this level. I asked a question, how many of you know flash fill? Very few people raised their hand. How many of you know data types? I asked. No one said yes. Right? Stock history function. No one said yes. For your information, stock history introduced 7 years back. You understand how much outdated we are. Sorry to use this word, but we are outdated. Okay, because application is growing very faster, but we are not having a key towards that. I know the reason for that. There is no time, Sharan. Sharan, we don't have a time. Let me tell you, if you can learn it, later you can save the time a lot.
Necessity is not there.
Necessity is there. But it's about only, you know, we need to pull out some time, learn it. My suggestion to all of you, in fact, I should appreciate, in fact, at the GSR time, I conducted, we along with, branch has given me the opportunity. I've taken 25 sessions, 25, 12 weeks, every week, Saturday and Sunday, 2 2 hour session. Almost like 40 50 hours content is there in the YouTube video. I'm telling you, not even any branch in India. I visited hundreds of branches. No branch having a full content of Microsoft Excel, not even basics. In fact, we cover from the basics till advanced level, free content. But it's only you need to utilize it. But let me tell you, let me appreciate the Vijayawada branch. But many places people message me, sir, your videos are very good in the Vijayawada branch. They are not even belong to Vijayawada, but they are maybe at Ahmedabad or maybe Surat or different places. Okay, that means branch is giving us the opportunity, institute is giving us the opportunity. Okay, time is not there, is I feel only the excuse. Okay, you should not have that excuse. If you can start learning it, I'm sure you can break it. As simple as it. And from today, I request all of you for everything, start using ChatGPT. I'm sure you will appreciate it, how great it is. Let me ask the final question. The ChatGPT, a small thing. Since it is a new prompt in the sense there is no context. Quick thing, quick updates, I'll tell you. 2 3 things. Okay. Now let me give you here. You can just go to the, are you finding there is a settings option? Since mine is a cheap plus $20 per month, if you are affordable, you can pay it. As of now, don't pay it. Okay, because it's become popular about this because I use a lot of plugins. That's the reason I have taken this. Now, here you can download everything. There is a beta features. There are plugins, advanced data analysis, data controls. Now you know there is an option called, for example, this alternative title for VBA user form table, right? In fact, I was talking about one of the client related assignment where I asked about this, right? Yeah, there is a small thing which I made it. I want to build a table of profit and loss into the VBA. No, not this. I'll just show you VBA code to append. Yeah. See. Yeah, check it out. A small question I asked. Prepare a VBA code for Excel to append a table data into other sheet whenever I refresh the table. It has not given any wrong. I simply copied and pasted it. Absolutely worked. Okay. Then I only asked a small question, little extent. In fact, these days, all my assignments directly I'm using ChatGPT, direct benefit. Could you please provide me instead worksheet under change, but list object change event? Then it has given, because that's little customization I want to do, it has given another programming for that. It has given another programming for that. And I further changed my code. Considering your first VBA code in our respond, extend the code to add the column of the date and time of the refresh in first column. Because every time when my table is refreshing, I also want to know what is the date and time it refreshed. And after I realize that, so this column is required, then it is simply saying, certainly, Mr. Saram, if you want to add a date and time column, just you copy paste this code. Otherwise, to make this type of code, understand how much time I need to spend. A small tool for like an SBI, which I generally release every year, Union Bank of India, I spent many number of days. Now I am sure next year onwards, I am trying to make a tool for every bank because thanks to the ChatGPT, I can simply ask it, these are the columns are there. This is what the column EMI. This is what the column, any royalty date. This is what the account date. So on. Could you please give me a code? It's going to give it to us. As simple as it. I'll just give you the last. I am having, I think, 2-3 minutes. Let me ask the question. Let's say many a times you have a question about financial year. For example, I can build the date very easily. There is no doubt. Let me have some random dates. Why should I type? Let me go to ChatGPT and ask. I want to build a random dates in Excel. Could you please provide a formula? Okay, I just asked a question. I want to build a random date. Could you please provide the formula? See how much faster it is. Before me understood what it has typed, it just got wasted. Okay, very good form, very big formula. I think it is not clever. Let me ask you, why don't you use? Okay, I want between 1st January 2010 to 31st December 2023 random dates. It just changed my formula, right? Now I'll tell to ChatGPT. Why cannot you use rand between and date combination? I'm just giving a clue to the ChatGPT. Now it is giving yes, certain. I can also use this type of formula. Simple. Okay, why it has to go beyond? So I can take it simple function. I'll just show you one small case study how simply it can make it. This is a small formula of date. This is helpful when suddenly your client comes and asks you to create some of the ledgers for almost like 10 lakh rupees. Then you can create random dates. This is the only way. It automatically give the random dates. You can ask Excel. Okay, tomorrow it's a recording. I should not tell. Okay, any place I want to generate some 300 dates with the different amounts that should total with 10 lakh rupees. Then you ask ChatGPT, create some 100 entries where cash should be less than 10,000 for different dates during the year. It should not be as if an AI created. Any income tax officer should not find it. So keep in such a way, when add it in between, you give some text also. So make sure that these holidays should not be part. Make sure that this weekend should not be part. So it's going to give you some 300 entries. You just need to copy and upload into the tally. Why you need to waste the time? I'm 100% sure less than 10,000 only it takes it. Sometimes 6,000. Sometimes I tried all those case studies. So if anyone asks me to create some 500 entries, need to think random, it automatically goes into some pattern. But when I ask ChatGPT to do that, it will give completely random. Okay. Then now what I'm going to do, if I want to have a financial year besides to this, what do you do? This is which financial year? 17-18. This is no, it's no later. Less than March. For example, this when I say it is 3, then it is 9-10. Yes or no? When it is say it is, let's say 1, it is 89. When I want to have a financial year, what is the formula you're going to write? What's the formula you're going to write? A very big formula. If function, if month is less than 4, then you take the last year hyphen this year. If the month is greater than or equal to 4, then you take this year hyphen next year and so on. Instead, what I'll ask, let me take the help of ChatGPT. I have the dates in one column. I want to get the financial year in the format of, keep it as much as possible, format of XXXX, okay, YYYY hyphen YY. Please create a custom function FY. I myself is giving what is the function name in VBA. Okay. Now, once I enter, it is hard to, I don't know what it is. What I asked, there are dates. Give me a custom function. Okay. Though I asked FY it has given get FY, not a problem. I don't do anything. Just copy this code. I'll go here. Problem is if you write a if function that only works here. But if it is a code, you can work every Excel, right? Now I'll go to developer. I'll go to VBA. I'll just go here, right click, just go to the module. In fact, this instruction also it has given. In fact, I did not show you. If you go to the chat GPT below, it has given you where you need to copy paste the code. Okay. Just you need to follow the instruction, that's all. Paste here, then you go back, go to your Excel, equal to, are you finding there is a function called getFI? Okay, just select this, enter. Oh, it doesn't understand. Because how do it knows that, okay, financial year starts with first month and so on. Now I'll go back and ask that. It seems this is wrong. Financial year in Indian context. Financial year in Indian context starts with 1st March and ends, sorry, 1st April. 1st April ends with 31st March of following year. Example, it is always better to give the example so that it can understand much better. For 5th March 2023 financial year should be FY 2022-23. Change the code and share. It will not give you every time. It need not to give you every time correct. You just need to make it proper. Now, let me take it. I'm just thinking this may work. Not sure. Copy it. I'll just go to my VBA, paste it. Now, and also another best part, I just observed. It's not give you the documentation. What this code is doing, what this code is doing, what this code is doing. Okay, within fraction of seconds. Now go here. Let me just go to FY. Oops. Okay, in some of the case, okay. I just need to spend little more time on this to understand. I think it is given correct this. Okay. Now, what is the mistake? Can anyone tell? Why it not understand? Why it is like 3, it understood because I have given that example. If it is more than 4, it did not understand what it should be. So now I need to go and ask. You can even scold, not a problem. Seems you become dumb these days. Okay, it will say apology. It already said apology, no? Okay. Okay, please, if another example, 5th April 2023 should be 2023-24. Ideally, it should come. It should not take this much time. I think it knows that I am in the conference. It has to, give little disturbance. But ideally, see, these small things it does without much of the work. It is easily doing. Get a file, right? So what I'll be doing now, the last code, I just copied, pasted here. Let me go back to the Excel. Let me put enter. Wow. See, first it not understand, Saran, where you are. Still wrong?
5/1/2019.
Oh, where it is?
7. Take some glass of water, some little water.
No, I cannot keep a water to my chat GPT. My system will go wrong.
Third column.
Which one, sir? This one?
7.
7th one? It is wrong? Oh, fine. Okay, so I think it should, this is also wrong. Now it has only taken that. Okay, no, you combine. See how we are learning to the kid. That is what the time is spent. But system does. Let me tell you now. You combine both the examples together at one place because it forget what it understood. Now it is taking only this because in other cases it is missing. So you spend little time. In fact, I am telling you with my experience because if you can see, this is my GPT-4. Another 2 accounts are there. One day, there are cases where, sir, your limit is over. You ask so many questions. Because maximum 3 hours, I think in 3 hours, 50 instructions are maximum. Okay. Now that is increased for GPT-4 for the plus user. I am a plus user. Yes, there is a restriction. Because every time when we ask this, that, and everything, it is also having some time. Now it is having enterprise. No, now it is an enterprise version. Enterprise version is there. Okay, now maybe that may not have any restriction and any bandwidth. And there is even a size limitation. You cannot ask, you cannot put, the entire financial statements of Infosys copy paste there. You cannot accept. Okay. Now I think in the enterprise version, that size limit they removed. So even the answer also. Okay, so you can start trying it. I at least, if I wish, I'm sure Vijayawada branch
I think you can do it. Analyze that.
may call after 6 months for any seminar. That time, if the same crowd come, I'll ask this question: how many of you are using ChatGPT? By that time, I should have a positive answer that everyone are using, at least get some benefit. I am telling you, with my experience, I benefited a lot. Every assignment, ChatGPT is something immediately I open. I don't have an hesitation when something is there to help me. I should not have an ego to not to take it. Okay, you should not have an ego not to take the help from the ChatGPT. Let's have a good friendship with ChatGPT. That's all for today's session. Thank you so much.
And directly.
Attachments, yes, yeah. 1 more minute, sir. Yeah, attachments are done, sir. If you are a beta version, meaning if you have a plus, this is what we have an option called plugins in the data control. 1 second. Sir, there is an option called code interpreter, sir. 1 second. Sir, there is an option called code interpreter. Okay. The code interpreter, I think temporarily they removed. In that, even you can upload your attachment. It should be there. I'm just surprising why it's not coming today. Somewhere they might have moved. Advanced data analysis is that. Okay. Code interpreter is there. This is what the options are. Advanced analysis. Now I can even upload the file also. Yeah, the name they have changed. Now, are you finding here? In fact, I told you one try I have done, right? What? I made some 30, 40 English transactions, finance transactions, regular transactions in English language, and I uploaded. Almost for 60 to 70% of the transaction, it converted into the W2. Okay, now you can upload any Excel file here, and it's going to write a code for you. In fact, I'm doing one big assignment on this because election voter data is generally not in the readable format. You can download any booth data for any state, that is public available data, but you cannot convert into the structured format. That's a big problem. Now I am using it, ChatGPT, to get it. Almost OCR it has done. It is still trying. At one time, I'm sure it will crack the code. You can make it available. Now it is having an option of attach the file. When you have a huge data, you can attach the financial statements of Infosys, ask the question, I'm sure it will answer. Okay, you want to extract all the tables of Infosys, because while seeing some of the financial statement, we feel good some of the tables. But those all are in the PDF format. When you copy and paste it, not comes in a proper format. When you upload the PDF of Infosys, then you ask ChatGPT to extract all the tables into another Excel, I'm sure it will do. Okay. So n number of case studies, but only the time you need to spend. Thank you so much for all of you. Thanks to Vijayawada Bank, especially GSI Garu, for the opportunity. That's all. Thank you.
If you happen to use analyzer of arbiter, analyzer of the arbiters.
I don't know arbiters first of all. You should tell me. Not here.
So just good afternoon, everyone. So friends, as you know that day in, day out, we are dealing with so many clients. So the prime intention of putting ChatGPT in 3 sessions is mainly to understand the topic in a clear manner, because the clients are becoming very, very smart. So day in, day out, they are coming to our offices. They are visiting 3, 4 offices because we don't have any consultation charges. So they will go to the 6 chart accountant They use all the information of the 5 chartered accountants and coming to the 6 chartered accountant and posing a lot of questions without paying anything. So, first of all, we have to develop a concept called consultation charges. Now that another thing, they are evaluating everything on ChatGPT first and coming to a chartered accountant for an advice. So, if we are because the chat GPT is a boon or ban to the professionals. That is the prime first topic tomorrow morning session by E. Narasimham Garu. Because that is one more topic that on chat GPT we have implemented because it is a very, very essential for the each and every professional to have an acquaintance over the chat GPT. Because whenever the chat GPT arrived in the market, just I have for a just random sake, I have informed about in income tax and GST, and even in property tax also, I posed 3, 4 questions to these things. To my surprise, they have given absolutely accurate answers. Really, really surprised by the technical brilliance of the chat GPT. That is any for any matter, whether it is a Google bot or whatever the case may be, it is artificial intelligence, open AI that is being developed here. So, friends, this chat GPT is becoming a tremendous part and it is really working out. So, friends, make a habit, like Sir informed about the things. Please make it a habit and see that we are going to be expert before the client asks the questions on us because we have to be more updated and we should be in a advanced mode when we are replying to the answers of the clients. This the more main intention of this type of sessions is we have to equip ourselves in a tremendous manner. So thank you, sir, Sharon sir, because he is the Excel man and he has taken a lot of pains because for 25 sessions in 1 year, in a span of 6 months, every Saturday, we used to have a session with sir. And even in the public speaking also, we are having session on Sunday. So in 2020-21, we have given almost 500 videos, that is 500 sessions in 1 year because of the corona, everybody watched the things. They're having, sir, all the 25 videos is having more than 1 lakh views in the Vijayawada branch channel. So everybody is making use of this Excel and all these things. So AI coupled with Excel, that is Microsoft Office, whether it is a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, whatever the case may be, how best we can use of these things really explained in a tremendous manner, sir. Thank you very much for this thing. As a token of love and affection from all this thing, I request Durga Rao Garu, the past chairman, hand over a memento to our beloved speaker, Sharon. Okay, writing button.
Is your speed is
Thank you, Sharon Garu. Thank you very much for the really excellent elaboration on the initial topic on the digital dynamics. Thank you being part of here because his session is already the last session is the first session because Dayanima sir and Umesh sir are coming late because of they are catching a different flight because Umesh sir is coming from Nagpur to Hyderabad and Hyderabad to Vijayawada to attend this conference. They went to the take the blessings of Goddess Kanakadurga also. They are just anyway within 5 minutes they are here. They're already here. Thank you. Nice of you, sir. So, friends, without wasting much of our time, we'll end up this session now and take a quick tea and come back. We'll start the next technical session by Dayan Nivas Sarma garu. Thank you.